it's time to open these up and check them out. These are the Bandai Tamashii Nations S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima figures. We have Piccolo Mini, we have Vegeta Mini, we have Son Goku Mini. I'm doing them all in one video here. They're all very small figures. They're a little bit of a, older release now at this point, and the show's already done with. So let's just take a look at it. I'm opening them up. I'm opening a lot of figures right now I've had on the side. And I want to talk about some of this stuff. So let's get to it. Alright, so the three of these look pretty good together here. They actually come with a good amount of accessories, which is impressive. And they're actually probably the smallest S.H.Figuarts figures I've ever seen. They really have mastered the smaller body mold and articulating them too. I mean, this is as much as articulation you can get with the size of these figures. You have everything here. You have toe hinges on these things, so they're really pushing it to the limit, and it's impressive to see. And again, I'm always going to go back to it. Kid Trunks and Kid Gohan, that could be possible now, 100% possible now. So I'm still waiting for that. That's crazy. We haven't gotten to those just yet, but yeah. Anyways, if you have Kid Goku from the GT release, if you have Kid Goku from the Dragon Ball release, even Pan, these are smaller than those figures. So, like I said, it's there. I think they've achieved it. So it's nice to see. These figures are actually retailed pretty cheap too. They weren't overpriced. I think Goku and Vegeta were like $20, $25. Once you import it over, maybe $30. And then Piccolo was a little bit more for some reason. I didn't agree with Piccolo. I think Piccolo was close to 40 or $50, and I'm like, that's a bit steep. He's not that much bigger at all, like at all. So I don't get that part. Why wasn't he another $20 release? But from what I remember, he was a little bit more than Goku and Vegeta. Actually, Goku and Vegeta hit clearance recently in the States, so you could find them as low as $20, I remember, at Best Buy or something like that. So that's another thing to consider. Goku's actually packed in with his bow staff right there, which is cool. Piccolo's packed in like this without his helmets or his cape. I know they're called something else, but whatever, sue me. And then Vegeta is packed in like this, just in his regular Saiyan armor. Goku comes with windswept hair sculpt, which is something they've been doing quite a bit, is windswept hairs. They love windswept hairs, and hey, I love it too, so keep it coming. I love the extra options here. One thing I noticed is the hairs are a lot less detailed. I think that's just because of the animation. A lot less detail on here. The sculpt is just pretty, as you can see, no detail at all. So this is slightly windswept for Goku. Vegeta also comes with windswept hair. Actually, let me just show Vegeta's right here too. It's a subtle windswept. It's nothing crazy, but you can see it's to the side there. So Vegeta does come with a windswept hair as well. Alright, so back to Goku. He's got his little bow staff sheath or holder that you can put on his back, and then this is the one with it when he's not using it. And of course, if right now, if I wanted to put this on him, you'd want to take that, take out the red part and just have an empty sheath there. I'm sure this is called something different as well. Along with the windswept hair, we get a windswept little shirt, bottom shirt piece here for his gi. So that's cool. You can have him power up, and his gi will be wind sweeping, right? Wind sweeping. It'll be, it'll be moving. It'll be showing some movement or motion. So it's cool to see that. I like the effort they put into this, to the detail and the fun factor of their releases. So the figure right now comes with this face, which is just smiling and happy. Then we get a little bit more of a serious face right here. And then we get even more serious with the teeth. And he's looking to the side. And then last but not least, we get open mouth. So that's a total of 4 faces. The hands right now, we get a fist, a right fist, and a left grabby hand to grab his staff. Of course, we have the alternate versions of those, so we have a left fist and a right. There's that. Then we have what I like to call the martial arts posing hands. Pretty standard and basic. You see how small these are? They're very tiny. there's the open grabby hands for Goku. And that's it for Goku. Let's move on to Vegeta. I showed you his windswept hair. Correct? Correct. Then we have something Goku does not have is crossed arms. And I mean, geez, even on a small figure like this, we get crossed arms, which is cool. Something they've been doing recently is they've been separating it. So they come separated. So this one, as you can see, there's a peg. And then you just kind of connect that. I think it makes it easier to connect to his body. Although Piccolo comes with crossed arms too. And his don't separate. So I don't know. Maybe because he's wider. See, maybe it's easier to put these on him. I don't know the reasoning behind that. But anyways, the face sculpt on Vegeta out of the box is also a neutral, serious look. Nothing crazy. We do get a happy version of him, or a little smile. So there he is. He's not always in a bad mood. Then we get our open mouth and our teeth for Vegeta. As for the hands, as you can see, we have the pair of fists out of the box. We're going to have our open blasting hands, of course. Then we're going to have our open grabby hands, or yeah, I guess they're grabby hands. And then martial arts, once again, so standard poses for our hands there. Alright, the Demon King, Piccolo, here he is. He comes like this, as you can see, a very neutral, serious look. This is one of my favorite faces right here. We get closing eyes, meditating look. Very cool. Then we have open mouth face. As you can see, these are meant for the ones with the helmet. All right, it's not a hat. It's a turban, right? It's a turban. And his cape is not a cape. It's a cloak. If it's called something else, let me know. But that's about the best I got. Here is the cloak. And I like it because they went back with the soft goods. And some people may not like this. I dig it. I like it's got a bendy wire as well. Very cool. And then as you see the top of the cloak, the armor it's a hard or a soft pliable plastic, but it's not the soft goods anymore, which works. So I'm gonna put that on him in a second. Let's continue on with his faces. I'm gonna show this one again because I don't know if I showed it or not. Here's the final two without the turban. And then as for the hands, of course, as always, out of the box, we have a pair of fists. Then we have our blasting open hands right here. Then we have our open grabby hands. This camera just wants to focus on the background. I don't know why. There it is. And then lastly, but not least, we have a pair of special beam cannon hands, I like to call these, of course. Because who does this? Piccolo does this when he does the special beam attack. So there's the accessories for every single one of these figures here in this review, because this is not a 3-pack. This is a single release for each one. This would have been cool if it was a 3-pack. Could you imagine if they released this as a 3-pack and it would have been like $60? What a deal. I mean, it's basically what you're paying for all of them. Not really, maybe a little bit more. Probably closer to 80 because Piccolo's a little bit inflated for whatever reason. But I digress. Anyways, let's move on. Since Vegeta's technically the smallest one, he should be the smallest one. He's shorter than Goku, but they're about the same. I'm going to start with him and check out his articulation. Let's see how mobile these things are. The head sits on a very long, not very long, but long for its size, ball peg, which works great. It's needed to get the movement that you need out of this guy, so he can look up. The one thing I noticed is his head does pop out quite a bit. It's popped off camera. It's in there, but very softly. Like, it's not held on very well. He looks up perfectly fine. He looks down. Not really. Doesn't really look down. He just looks straight forward. Left and right, and head tilting. So that double ball peg allows for all this range of motion. And he's got a neck articulation, articulated neck at the base as well. So the chest neck area moves around. So that's dope. Arms are going to go up all the way around. Now, he doesn't have like a bicep swivel, but he's got this shoulder socket, so it does swivel quite a bit. Let's see if I can get that in focus. to really show that. Very good range. I mean, they've really mastered the small body now. These are our ball hinges for the elbows that hit 90 degrees. Same thing for the wrist. They swivel and hinge. As for the torso, it's like there is a ball joint there. So he moves around, he swivels, he kind of crunches forward and back a little bit, and he leans left and right. Legs, I try to drop it down just to see if they went with drop down, but they did not. Not like it needs it, because look at this thing. That is impressive, I must say. So the way they sculpted the ball joints in there, I mean, it allows for a full kick up. It's really good. I mean, I must say, he doesn't do the splits, but that's fine. Legs are on that same ball hinge, and that hits 90 degrees as well. Same thing for the ankles, so they hinge, they swivel, they tilt, and then we have the little mini toe hinges like they're needed, but I'll take it. I will take it. That's awesome, man. I really cannot complain about the articulation on this little guy. Very, very well done for the size, and you know what? I'm surprised, man. Goku's no different. He looks up, he looks down actually more than Vegeta, so that's cool. And left and right, head tilting is very, very nice. Arms are gonna go up. So this figure, he's a little bit broader and wider than Vegeta, so he actually has more articulation points. You can see he's got a butterfly joint in here. Check that out. I mean, that's cool. I'll take that all day long. A little shoulder socket action there. There's even a bicep swivel. It's in there, and it's perfectly hidden with the cut of the sleeve. So that is great. I mean, no complaints there. The shoulder drops down. You're going to get all the motion you really need out of the arms. We got the single jointed elbows that hit the 90-degree bend. And then we get the wrist swivel and hinge. As for the torso, there is a cut right here at the waist. So there's a ball joint there. So that moves around, tilts, swivels. Nice pliable bottom of the shirt here. His legs do kick up. It is pliable, but they did not cut the plastic like they tend to do on like skirted figures. So it doesn't really allow it to go as far as it could have gone. Nonetheless, he still has some mobility there. The splits are hindered as well by that. There's a thigh swivel. The single jointed knees actually extend further than a 90-degree bend, and you can see how that looks right there. So I guess we can call this 3.5 knee joints because they're not quite 4.0s and they're not quite 3.0s, but they're different. Here we have a tilt at the ankle, a swivel, and a hinge, and a toe hinge at the foot, or the toe. So he's actually more articulated than Vegeta, which makes sense. He's a little bit bigger, so that makes total sense. But they're both great. This is fantastic for this size. I mean, this is insane, honestly. Come on, Kid Trunks, Kid Goten. I may have said Kid Gohan earlier today in this video. I meant Kid Trunks and Kid Goten. So if you already commented on that mistake, erase it. Because I caught it. Anyways, let's move on to Piccolo. Here he is. And I expect this one to even be more articulated than the other ones because he's the biggest one of the three. So let's check him out. As we can see here, he has the 4.0s. Are these? Yeah, these are the 4.0 knees. Very cool. There you go. I have a love-hate relationship with the 4.0 knees. I really do. I don't know. I feel like the 3.0s look better because you get the sculpted piece. For those who don't know, 3.0s are like this Goku right here. You know, but when you stand him up, you don't really see so many breaks. You just see the one, and they kind of try to blend in the seam with like the bagginess of the pants, so it's almost seamless. You know, this Goku with the 3.0 knees, you know it's there, even though you could try to blend it into the seams or to the bagginess. But when you bend his knee, this is what it looks like. So that's what they're trying to get away from. I don't know. I didn't mind this. It's better than what they originally did in 1.0 knees. I don't know. 3.0s, I dig it. 4.0s, I don't hate it, so it's fine. It's just like that doesn't look that much better either, in my opinion, you know. So now when you bend his knees, it's just like a big nothing. There's no detail. I don't know. Anyways, at the end of the day, they're action figures, so you really can't avoid it. Let's move on. Head will look all the way up. Why is my camera focusing on the background? All right. Let's look up, down, left, and right. Head tilts. Very nice. Arms are going to go all the way up, all the way around. We have the butterfly joints. We do have bicep swivels, hinges at the shoulders, shoulder socket. We have an elbow that bends at 90 degrees, so that's good. And then we have the traditional ball jointed hinged wrist. Diaphragm or waist ball joint, so that moves around as you would expect. Legs kick up about this far. They go back down. They go in and out. Let's see how far. He actually does kind of the splits a little bit. Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit. But there's a thigh swivel. There is the knee I showed you earlier, but these knees are actually really good because they actually extend more than a 90-degree bend, which the 3.0s did too. So anyways, I guess this does look a little bit better. I don't know. So you can kick up like that. I mean, you have full range on this little figure. Ankles, they do swivel, they tilt, they hinge, and then there's the toe hinge as well. I do like that the shirt is an overlay, so it's a soft pliable plastic overlay over the actual sculpted body in there, you can see. So that's very cool. I guess you could try to take it off if you wanted to, but this purple sleeve, yeah, you can't have shirtless Piccolo, even if you tried, because this sleeve will prevent that. It's gonna look weird. Anyways, let's go ahead and get them all dripped out. And there he is without the turban. Almost said helmet again. Without the turban, in case you wanted to see him without the turban, but with the cloak. All right, and then here he is with the cloak and turban on, and we are ready to go, man. This is actually my favorite Piccolo looks, always when he's just dripped out with the cloak and the turban. Just awesome when he's just chilling. Anyways, that does prevent him from moving his head quite a bit, so keep that in mind. Once you put that on, you're basically just meditating, right? And that's the whole point. He never really fights with this on. He takes it off. And they're super weighted. I think they're super heavy, so it helps with, once he takes it off, he's like flying, basically. He's just a feather. But man, that looks great. Looks really cool. Alright, so you may not have windswept hair on Piccolo, but we do have bendy wire cloak. So you can windswept affect this thing yourself, basically. And he can be powering up. And this bendy wire works flawlessly. And that right there is, in my opinion, the look for sure. Liking this quite a bit. With the cloak, turban, crossed arms, and meditating face. Done deal. That's how I'm going to display this Piccolo for sure. Very cool, man. Just like that, you have like 3 different figures in one, basically. How, the numerous ways you can display this guy. And basically all the figures. So here's the GT Goku next to our Daima Goku. And GT Goku is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more taller and bigger proportionally. But nonetheless, they're both pretty good, honestly. They're great size. He's still pretty small. I think he's just smaller over here. And this looks a lot better than the Kid Goku that we got in Dragon Ball. And speaking of Dragon Ball, here he is. This is this was the store exclusive, the Tamashii Nation's New York store exclusive Kid Goku from Dragon Ball. And like I said, like they're getting better with scaling it. When the Dragon Ball versions came out, they were big. They were big for being kids. The molds were just a little too big, and this is evidence of that. You can see just how big it was as he is towering over these two over here, GT Goku got smaller and it got more accurate, and then Daima Goku is just the smallest it could be, and it looks good. It doesn't look like he's got a giant head or anything. It looks, I mean, he's got a big head, but that's the anime, you know. But it doesn't look ridiculous like we've seen. So this is cool to see. And then even further here we have the original Dragon Ball version of Goku, but this was the Blue Gi edition. So it's the same thing as the one you see right here. Basically, it's just different color. But I think the head was a little bit bigger on that, and they scaled it down a little bit on this exclusive right here. So, you know, the heights are going to be the same proportionally. I think this one was a little bit better, but it was still a big figure, you know. So if you were to scale this next to like adult Goku, then it felt like he wasn't like, I don't know, I felt like he was just too big. At least that was the general consensus of that. Look at the little one over here from Daima. That looks like Goten, you know? It's a better representation of a kid Goku for sure. And if we want to throw in Kid Krillin from Dragon Ball, you could just see how big Krillin was too. So honestly, Krillin from Dragon Ball should have been this size. He's like this size when he's an adult. He's a short guy. But when he was a kid, he was even shorter. So the scaling was definitely off. Maybe we'll get another one day. So these are the first initial mini figures from Dragon Ball Daima S.H.Figuarts, Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo. They have released, or they are going to release, the adult versions of them from Daima as well. So looking forward to those. I do have Goku already, but we still need Piccolo and Vegeta. I might just do separate reviews for those, or maybe I'll do all three at once again. Who knows? We'll see. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section regarding these figures. What do you guys think about them? For me, they're alright. They're good. They're not anything amazing. What's amazing is the articulation on the small body molds. I really like seeing that. And if you like the show, you're going to like these figures. They're going to be the best versions of these figures out there from Daima. So if you really like the show, then you're going to like these. But if you don't care for the Daima show at all, or maybe you don't like it, then you're going to pass up on these. You don't really need these at all, unless you're trying to customize or something, you know. But these remind me of the little chibis from Jakks Pacific. I don't know if you remember those, but they were ahead of their time, I guess, huh? Anyways, that's it. I'll catch you guys on the next one.